sucker move. I think he's trying to show Sanders up, and I think you're right, Dante. He's trying to prove to people that no, I'm a leader. He's faking the funk. Let's put it that way. And bro, you're not that good. Like I saw you against the Raiders out there Cadillacing and got the ball stripped from you. So I think if you are being real about it and you're being a team guy, you wouldn't try and use Shedeur Sanders's inexperience as a ladder to elevate yourself. You dig what I'm saying? I just think that there's a lot of that stuff that could be and should be, quite frankly, handled in private, and you can do all the gesturing you want then, but doing it in front of 70,000 people and however many millions watching on TV.
Listen to this. Jeudy is battling for his spot in Cleveland right now after that chaotic sideline clash with Shedeur Sanders and a streak of shaky outings. The heat is higher than a July training camp under the summer sun. Sources inside the facility say Jeudy is doing everything in his power to stay on the field, quietly hoping Todd Monken doesn't bench him outright. The burning question on everyone's lips is crystal clear. Can Jeudy cling to his role, or is the Browns' receiver room about to hit the reset button? Drop your thoughts in the comments because, trust me, this drama is getting juicy. Now here's what's really unfolding behind the scenes. Jeudy knows the pressure heading into the 2026 season is enormous. Cleveland is actively scoping out another elite receiver, and Carnell Tate's name is floating around town like a draft night rumor. Every single move Jeudy makes is under the microscope. Every dropped pass, every sideline look, every tiny gesture is being dissected. In the NFL, that spotlight can either crown you a star or expose every weakness you've tried to hide. That kind of pressure has Jeudy grinding harder than ever, fully aware that his job hangs in the balance.
If I'm whoever's supposed to be the starting quarterback for the Browns, I'm ecstatic. The weakness for the Browns last year was the offensive line and it was the wide receiver position. But you got to remember, Browns got a new center. They got 2 new guards. They got a new tackle. You have the 6th overall pick. You get yourself another tackle. Then you have another first-round pick. You get yourself a wide receiver. And just like that, you've rebuilt your offense. You're going to return Quinshon Judkins at running back. Make Jerry Jeudy your number 2. You get yourself a wide receiver 1. Maybe it's Carnell Tate. Maybe it's Tyson. You've revamped the offensive line. You'll probably have 5 new starters on the offensive line, of which you have hand-selected. You got a new head coach, of which you've hand-selected. Defensively, you're still stout. You still have Myles Garrett. You still have number 21, Denzel Ward. So if you are the quarterback for the Browns, if you're Shedeur Sanders, you're looking at...
Listen up. Early mornings in the gym, extra reps after practice, and endless film sessions trying to fine-tune every inch of his game. But here's the hard truth. This isn't just about padding stats anymore. Those past moments with Shedeur Sanders are still buzzing in the locker room, and fans sure haven't forgotten. When Jeudy's frustration started showing on the sideline, everyone took notice. Teammates saw it, coaches saw it, and yeah, the internet saw it too. Sometimes his emotions spilled over in ways that added tension to the offense. You could feel the frustration boiling over during games, especially when drives stalled or timing between players got messy. In the NFL, body language is just as loud as production. When plays break down, every reaction gets dissected frame by fans, media, and the coaching staff. The league is ruthless, and accountability comes for everyone. Enter Todd Monken. And let's be clear, Monken didn't come to Cleveland to babysit egos or manage drama. His rep in the league is straightforward: production, discipline, and players who make the offense click. Anyone falling short knows the tough decisions are coming. That means every receiver in that room is battling for their spot every single day. Right now, Jeudy is right in the heart of that fight. Every practice rep counts, every route counts, every moment of focus counts, because Cleveland knows the wide receiver market never stops moving, and the Browns won't hesitate to bring in fresh talent if the offense needs a spark. In today's NFL, loyalty only matters if production follows. That's why the Carnell Tate chatter is getting louder. Tate has the kind of profile that can immediately shake things up. Standing 6'3" with speed, strength, and polished route running from his Ohio State days, he's the kind of player who grabs coaches' attention fast. Defenses dread receivers who could stretch the field and win contested balls, and Tate has flashed both skills. Meanwhile, Jeudy has been stuck in a rough statistical patch. Last season, he logged 602 yards and just 2 touchdowns, despite suiting up for all 17 games.
This is bad.
Yeah,
last year. So now you want the rookie to go out there and play well and do good, but the offensive line is not good. So I like this move. I think the defense is really, really good. They need some help on offense, and especially the offensive line. They need some wide receivers too, though. Like, and Jeudy, I think he's good. He could be better. And they need a true number one. But the first thing you got to do is starts with the offensive line.
Hold up. This kind of production raises eyebrows when a team is trying to elevate its offense, especially with the quarterback carousel already spinning names like Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Bailey Zapp, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson through the lineup. Finding consistency has been a nightmare. Still, the pressure right now, it's real and it's heavy. Jeudy is 26, smack in the middle of his prime, and this season could define how his Cleveland story is written. The Browns are hunting for receivers who bring energy, chemistry, and reliability alongside Shedeur Sanders, who's steadily building his momentum as the offensive leader. That means focus, effort, and accountability every single day. So yeah, this is a massive moment for Jeudy. He either locks in, proves he belongs, and shows he can be a dependable weapon in this offense, or Cleveland starts eyeing the next man ready to rise. And with a player like Carnell Tate lurking, the margin for error is razor thin. Tate is exactly the type of receiver who can snap a stagnant offense awake and get the stadium buzzing again. The instant he hits the field, defenses have to pay attention. Separation comes naturally to him. He wins contested catches, and he turns ordinary throws into highlight reels that run all week. That kind of presence changes everything on defense. Safeties shift, corners give cushion, and suddenly Shedeur Sanders has more room to read and deliver. And here's what makes Tate stand out. He just plays. No sideline drama, no whining when the ball doesn't find him, no weird energy in the locker room. His style is simple. Run the route, win the matchup, help the team move the chains. Players like that lift an offense without speeches or headlines. Cleveland needs exactly that spark if they want Shedeur Sanders to dominate. Meanwhile, Jerry Jeudy knows the clock is ticking.
And every coach is always under construction. We are always learning and getting better. And I think we're in the development business. So any player that you get, you're fighting like hell to develop them and try to using what their elite trait is. You're always trying to find what that is. Where can they add value within a game plan? For instance, Wes Welker's with the Dolphins, catching 60 balls. They're a pro-style offense. He goes to New England. He's a 100-catch guy playing in the slot, Hall of Famer, right? Where can you find pieces that can play at an elite level of what you're asking them to do? For instance, any position's that way. You're not going to ask an elite punter to play out the left tackle. He has an elite trait, right? So where is your elite traits that you think can help you from a value? And then you're constantly trying to develop them to maximize their skill set. And then also, they should always be trying to get to the upper level of their skill set. So I think that's one of the biggest things is you control who ends up in the room and you coach the hell out of them to try and get the most out of them that you can. And you only know that when you get young players is if you have a hard decision to make that they came in as a player and then they hit free agency and there's people that want them. Like you've got to the point where you have a hard decision to make. If you've gotten younger players and you haven't gotten them to that point and no one wants them, you haven't developed them. You have.
Ooh, I'm big on development. Listen, he said the only way you could tell is if you developing your players is by how many other teams is trying to get at him when they're a free agent. If you got a dude that done hit this end of his contract and he got Minimowski offers, ain't nobody looking for him, he bouncing from the USFL, he about to get this invite to a camp, stop it. That means you didn't develop him. It's different. Because when you look at it in the context of the Cleveland Browns, it's all about that.
Listen to this. The message around the building couldn't be clearer. Step up now or risk losing your spot. This isn't about stats on a sheet anymore. Coaches want effort, accountability, and receivers who prove they belong in a system built to elevate the quarterback. Right now, Tate looks like he fits that vision perfectly. And let's be real, The Browns' offense last season struggled hard. Drives stalled, timing was off, and consistency was nearly impossible to find. With Shedeur Sanders stepping into a leadership role, the entire offensive identity now revolves around him. That's the new reality in Cleveland. Todd Monken gets it completely. He's reshaping the roster piece by piece, making sure the offense actually supports its quarterback. That means better protection, stronger trenches, and giving Sanders the time he needs to operate. A quarterback can't deliver precise throws if defenders are in his face 2 seconds after the snap. So Monken's approach is methodical and deliberate. Build the line first, demand discipline, and surround Sanders with players who make the system run smoothly. Receivers who get open, linemen who hold, and a game plan where every piece works together. When the foundation is solid, Sanders can read defenses calmly, make confident decisions, and push the ball downfield. If the Browns failed to build around him, all that talent just sits idle. That's NFL reality. Unsupported talent gets exposed, and Monken knows that better than anyone. This isn't about past loyalties or protecting reputations. It's one thing: winning football games. He's been grinding behind the scenes, rebuilding the offense to give Sanders a real shot to lead. The Browns have a defense that can hold up, but that only goes so far if the offense stalls. A quarterback can't drive explosively when he's running for his life or throwing under pressure. Protection, timing, and dependable weapons are the true foundation of success. That's exactly where Monken is taking this team. Sanders needs a line that holds the pocket, receivers who create separation and make plays, and a system designed for reading defenses and exploiting weaknesses. Every move, every adjustment, every coaching choice Monken makes points to one thing: building an offense that lets Sanders play at his highest level. If Cleveland wants real success, the formula is simple: start with Sanders and build out. And judging by Monken's moves, that plan is already in motion. Now here comes Emmanuel Acho trying to frame this like some groundbreaking insight. But honestly, it just sounds like another opinion missing the bigger picture. He talks about the Browns rebuilding as if the quarterback is just another random piece, and that makes zero sense.
I believe it needs to be addressed. What was being said by Jeudy and Shedeur Sanders? Every single game is emotional. There's always tension, conversations. When people get animated, you rarely see on a sideline 2 players talking, or a coach talking to another coach, or a player talking to a coach.
Listen up. In today's NFL, the quarterback is the engine driving the entire offense. Shedeur Sanders is the guy defenses have to account for on every single snap. Without him, those new linemen, the receiver additions, all the draft investments, they don't hit their full potential. The whole system works because the quarterback can run it and elevate everyone around him. Acho throws out names, stats, music, and roster moves like it somehow proves his point. Sure, Cleveland added a center, guards, a tackle, and made early draft investments, but none of that matters if the quarterback can't turn it into production on the field. And that's exactly where Sanders changes the game. He's not sitting back waiting for a perfect system to carry him. He drives the offense, forces defenses to adjust, and creates openings that weren't there before. The pressure inside the Browns organization, it's not subtle anymore. Everyone knows the direction of this team revolves around Sanders. When a franchise commits to a quarterback, everything else starts orbiting him like planets around the sun. That's exactly what Cleveland is doing, and the changes are impossible to miss. Todd Monken didn't come to Cleveland to run a safe, predictable offense. He came to reshape it. Monken's philosophy is all about aggression, structure, and putting the quarterback in a position to attack, not react. That means designing plays where Sanders can read the field calmly, spot weaknesses, and deliver with confidence. Look closely at the roster moves, and the plan is clear. The Browns aren't randomly collecting pieces, they're layering talent around Sanders, protection up front, dependable receivers outside, and a system that leverages his strengths. That's how winning offenses are built in today's NFL.
Bombs being dropped, a little bit of frustration, and a little bit of the veins bulging out. I've been in this position before. My rookie year, I was on a team that was 1-15. Getting ran through every week is a little discouraging. But I want to tell you this, man, stop trying to make something out of nothing, especially if you weren't on the sideline to hear everything that was transpiring and going on. It's nothing wrong with having a conversation and expressing frustration, but understanding that every wide receiver and every quarterback will have a disagreement. They will discuss things on the sideline. So all of the people that are actually piling on to Jerry Jeudy and calling them all these different names, I'm just telling you, man, I think you should stop. I don't think it's fair, and I really don't think.
All right, listen to this. Last season, messy. Drives stalled, protection collapsed, and the offense never found a rhythm. That kind of chaos makes life miserable for any quarterback, no matter how talented. Producing under constant pressure becomes nearly impossible when the pocket crumbles and receivers can't get open. That's why Monken went straight to the fundamentals. Step 1, stabilize the offensive line. You cannot run a modern offense without protection. Quarterbacks need time to read defenses, progress through options, and deliver with timing. Without that foundation, even the best playbook is useless. So Cleveland strengthened the trenches, new linemen, new combos, and a renewed focus on technique and discipline. The goal? Build a wall that lets Shedeur Sanders operate comfortably, instead of constantly dodging defenders. Once the line improves, the entire offense transforms. When a quarterback trusts his protection, his decisions get sharper. He steps into the throws confidently. He scans the field instead of rushing the first option. That's when explosive plays start to happen. Now throw in receivers who can actually win their matchups. Suddenly, defenses can't cheat. They can't crowd short routes or overload the box because someone is threatening them deep. That's why Carnell Tate keeps buzzing. He's the kind of weapon that forces defensive coordinators to stay honest. Big, fast, physical, and able to stretch the field. He changes how opponents scheme. Corners respect him, safeties account for him, and that opens space across the field. For a quarterback like Sanders, that spacing is gold. Throwing windows open, reads simplified, and chances for big plays multiply. Football becomes a chess match instead of a survival test. But here's the key: leadership. When a quarterback becomes the heart of a team's identity, the locker room looks to him for direction. That's Sanders' stage right now. Teammates watch how he prepares, handles pressure, and responds when things get tough. And by all accounts, he's embraced it. He studies the game, works on timing with receivers, and sharpens the offense constantly. That mindset spreads. When the quarterback raises the bar, everyone else follows. That's why Cleveland is handling this moment carefully. They know quarterback development can shape a franchise for years. Support him properly, and the offense grows stronger each season. Ignore it, and the team stays stuck in the cycle of inconsistency. Cleveland clearly wants to break that cycle. That's why roster moves feel deliberate, not random. The front office is seeking players who complement Sanders, not compete with him. Receivers run precise routes, linemen protect with discipline. Coaches design plays that maximize the quarterback's vision and timing. Flash doesn't matter anymore, structure does. Because once that structure is in place, everything else improves. The run game gets easier as defenses respect the pass, receivers find space, drives become longer, controlled, and dangerous. That's the offense Monken is building, and if it clicks, the Browns' narrative could flip fast. From instability and frustration to balance, explosiveness, and quarterback-led dominance. At the center, Shedeur Sanders. When he plays confidently and the system functions, the offense becomes a nightmare for defenses. Every snap is unpredictable, every drive a scoring chance. Sanders doesn't need Emmanuel Acho's approval. He doesn't need analysts waving their hands or listing draft picks on TV. He's the quarterback, the huddle leader. The player is driving this offense forward. While critics debate from studios, Monken is doing the real work, building an offense to give Sanders every opportunity to succeed. And let's not forget the defense, still loaded. With stars like Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, that side of the ball brings serious strength and stability. Cleveland isn't guessing. They're constructing a team around a quarterback they believe can lead the next chapter. That quarterback is Shedeur Sanders. Meanwhile, Sanders is locked in, eyes on the field, focused on the upgrades and the opportunity ahead. Leadership, preparation, and proving exactly why the team believes in him. And Jeudy, he knows the pressure is real, and Carnell Tate is right there waiting for his shot. The Browns' offense is evolving, and Sanders sits at the center of it all. Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of this action.